Subscribe to my channel and click on this bell icon for being updated with my latest content. Hey guys, this is Vishal. I'm starting this new tutorial stream on Java related topics where I'll be covering the essential points, scenarios, problem statement, and even frequently asked interview questions on Java 8 features, multi-threading, collections. With that being said, in this video I'm going to explain how to merge two map in Java 8. Alright, here is the case. Let's say I have a two map, map 1 and map 2, which hold some transaction related stuffs, where key is nothing but the transaction ID, and for each transaction ID there is a transaction object associated with it. What I want to do is that I want to merge these two map into a single map object and pass it for further processing. So we'll see how we can achieve this using Java 8 features. Before jumping directly into the way of merging maps using Java 8 features, I want to show you how we can do this without using Java 8. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to iterate over transaction map 1 and then we'll check whether the key from the transaction map 1 is present in a transaction map 2 or not. If the key is not present, that means we can simply add a record. If the key is present, then we have to write a merging logic over here. So let's go ahead and write the code for it. So first of all, we need to get the entry set from transaction map 1. I'm going to iterate over transaction map 1. So transaction map 1 dot entry set. There is a method present in Java. It will return a set object. So I'll get into set of entry objects. So map dot entry of type integer has a key and transaction object as a value. So this is my entry set. So I'm going to loop over this set. So for map dot entry, this is integer, this is transaction e, and this is entry set. Now here we have to check whether the key is present in a second map or not. So I'll write a if condition. In first case, we'll see transaction map 2 dot contains key and the key from first map or get key. If key is present, second case would be if key is not present, right? If the key is not present, then we just simply have to add that record into the second map. So transaction map 2 dot put e dot get key comma e dot get value. It's just simple. We just have to add it. Now in the first if case, when the key is present, we have to write a merging logic. Merging logic could be like taking accepting the older value or overriding with the new value or something we can do. So as of now, what we can do is that we can override with the older values or the value from transaction map 1. So I'll just simply write map 2 dot put key would be remain same and value from the map 1 get value rather than from map 2. So it will merge the value for that key with the value coming from transaction map 1. I'm going to return this map 2 since it's a merge map over here. Now we can call this method from the main function over here. So I'm going to create an object for my merge hashmaps object class. Merge hashmaps dot m is equal to new merge hashmaps, then m dot, let's say before Java 8, the first one, merge maps before Java 8. Alright, now it will return us a new hash map. So we'll take it into another one of integer transaction merge map. All right, now we'll just loop over it and print all the key and values so that we can assure that the map is merged. So again we have to iterate over entry set. So map dot entry, this is integer, key value is transaction e, and here merge map dot entry set. Alright, here I will print the key and values. So system dot out dot println key is e dot get key. My bad, it's plus, and value is e dot get value. All right, it will print it. That's it. Now we're not calling this method. This will actually build or initialize your hash map. So before actually calling our merge methods, we just have to call this one. So m dot get transaction map. It will just simply initialize it to your two maps. Now let's run this. See what do we get. Alright, as you can see, transaction map 1 has 3 records for the transaction ID 100, 101, 102. Transaction map 2 has 4 records with 3 different transaction ID and one with the same ID which is already present in map 1. So for this one, for the 102 transaction ID, there should be a merging logic. So actually this is an entire merge object with the 6 records, and for the 102 transaction ID the logic has been merged and the old value has been taken. So you can see over here the old value is 100. So rather than taking the new one of 230, it has accepted the old value. That's how we have written the merge logic. Now let's explore different options of doing exactly same thing using Java 8 features. The first way could be of using merge function. Merge method is nothing but the new feature in a Java 8 provided in map collection. What merge will do is that it will do the exact same thing what we have coded using if-else logic. If the key is not present in the else case, it would be similar like put, the transaction map dot put the key and value. If the key is present, then merge function will be executing the business logic. If the key is present, then merge function will be having a merge logic, what to do when the key is present, that will be executed. Now let's try to do the same thing and see how we can merge these two maps. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to iterate over transaction map 2 using for each. That's also again a new feature in Java 8. It will provide you key and value. So the transaction is nothing but our value. Integer is nothing but transaction ID, that is key. Now here on first map, that is transaction map 1, I'm going to call merge method. So if you open the merge method, you will see what parameter it is expecting. One is key, second is value, third one is a by function. It's a function or the functional interface in a Java 8 that is nothing but the remapping function. It is what when key is present, what to do. That is the merging logic what we are going to provide. So let's go back to our code, and for us key would be the same thing, value is again the same. Now what if key is present? then we have to provide the remapping function. So if key is present, you would be having two values. First is v1, or let's say value 1, second is value 2. Now you have to provide logic over here. What to do? Right now what I would say, let's return the new value. So I would just simply write value 2. I want value 2 to be merged in transaction map 2 when key is collides. So that's it, our merge logic is done. So from here let's return the transaction map 2. Alright, done. Now let's take this method and try to run from our main method. Let's replace this older one with a new one. Same input we have, and the transaction ID 2 is present in transaction map 2 along with 1. That one would be observing. Okay, let's try to run this. So right click on this main method, expecting same kind of output. Alright, we did something wrong. It has taken only 4 records rather going with all total records. Something wrong. Let's see what it is. Transaction map. Alright, we are returning the transaction map 2 rather than 1 because we have merged in transaction map 1. So let's return transaction map 1. Again run the same method. This time it should work. Now it's getting all 6 output. Now for the key 102 we asked specifically to take value 2, so it should have taken value 2. Now let's see, this is the object from value 2. You can confirm it from amount. Okay, if you go up for the value 2, this was a transaction object with amount 230. The exact same has been taken. That means we have merged for the transaction ID 102. So this is one way of merging logic in Java 8. The other possible way could be of using stream.concat method along with collector.toMap method. So let's try to implement the merging logic using that features. So first what I'm going to do is that I'm going to convert this transaction map 2 and 1 into a stream object. So let's write the code for it. Stream, first one is a transaction map stream 1. So I'm going to convert transaction map 1 dot entry set. I'm going to convert the entry set into stream object. That is what I want. Similar to that, let's convert the second map into the stream map stream 2 transaction map 2 dot entry set dot stream. Alright, now I'm going to accumulate both the stream using stream.concat method. So stream.concat stream 1 comma stream 2. Now over it apply collect method. Here you have to write the collecting logic. So I'm going to collect it into a map. So collectors, which is present in java.util.stream.toMap. Alright, now if you open the toMap, there would be multiple overloaded methods. So what I would need is the second one. So if I click on that, this toMap method is expecting 3 parameters. One is the key mapper. It's a mapping function to produce keys. Second is a value mapper. It's again the mapping function to produce values. And third one is a merge function of type binary operator. It is helpful when key collides or when key is present in both the maps. So let's use this toMap in our code. So the function to produce keys is what I'm going to take is map dot entry, and the method is get key. The reason I'm using entry is nothing but both these stream objects of type entry set. That's the reason I'm taking map dot entry. Similar to that, for the value mapper, again map dot entry. This is a method reference way. The method reference is a way of referencing or calling a method using Java 8 features using double colon. So this is value. Now you gotta pass the merge function. So again the same way. Okay, what did it do? Okay, value 1 comma value 2, and here this time I'm going to return the first value. So you can do some merging over here, but for the time being I'm just returning either first or second value. So I'm going to return from this method the first one. All right. Okay, the one more this is missing. What does it say? On static method is converted into that. Actually, we are getting this error, the compile time error, saying non-static method cannot be referenced from static context because it is not able to recognize this type of this stream. So we have to mention over here what type of stream object it is. So it is a stream object of entry. So map dot entry of type object. Similarly, over here we have to mention that map dot entry. Now it is giving the compile time error because it is saying the entry object of type integer and transaction as a value. So we have to mention the entry object of type integer and value is transaction. Entry object contains two. One is key, second is value. So key is of type integer, value is of type transaction. So same way we have to mention for the second map integer and value is transaction. All right, now you can see the error has gone. So we are collecting into the map. So this map is nothing but the generic map. So I'll name it some merge map. So I'm going to return this map from here, and before returning we have to cast this into the actual hash map of type key integer and transaction. So I'm going to cast it over here. That's it, it's done. Now I'm going to use this method in my main call. Let's replace this and try to run that logic. So I'm going to run it. Alright, now we're getting the merge result, and as we have seen earlier, for the key 102 we should be getting the merge logic. So what we have provided the merge logic is that when key is present we should return the value from the first transaction map. So the transaction object for the first map is this one, the name Leonard, amount is 100 and etc. So in the result we should be getting the same. Now over here you can see amount account name is similar to the transaction map 1. Similar to this one, there is one more way of merging two maps where I'm going to take transaction map 2 dot entry set into stream object similar to the earlier one, and on top of it I'm going to apply my collector logic. So collect, and here again collectors dot to map. Alright, now this time rather taking the same overloaded method, this time I'm going to take the different method. So if you click on to map, I'm going to take the third one along with fourth parameter, which is a supply, a function which returns new empty map where results will be inserted. For us, result is nothing but the merge map. So I'm going to use this overloaded method. So let's go back to our code. Here the key mapper is nothing but map dot entry and get key. Similar to that, value mapper is again map dot entry get value. Now merge function is similar, v1 the value 1, v2 this time let's say return value 2. Okay, and okay, this time we'll write something else here, return, or say v2 will take and change the value set amount to 0. Let's say big decimal not 0, and then return v2. We can do this way. Alright, this is ending where this place. Okay, and the last one is supplier. It's nothing but the new empty map. So the empty map is like this one, new hash map. Now here I'm going to pass the transaction map 1. So inside its constructor I'm going to pass transaction map 1. So this would be the merge resultant. I'm going to take into something like HashMap, or rather taking from here, let's simply return from this place only. So let's delete this. Alright, here is our merge logic. Let's copy this method and try to call from our main call. So I just replace it and I'll run my main method. We just tweak the merge logic a little bit. So this time our amount for the transaction ID 102 should be 0. So if you see, the amount is 0. That means when the key is same, we have applied some logic to return v2 along with setting value to amount to 0. So these are multiple ways of merging two maps using Java 8 features. Thank you for watching.